All right, howdy folks, welcome back. So here we are, July 29th of 2022, and you can see we've had another CME come off over here, and quite a questionable looking CME, and we'll go through this one frame by frame, as well as over here on the red, because you get to see it quite well over here on the red side. Hello, welcome folks. Thank you for stopping by and checking out my live stream. Okay, so let me pull this down just a little bit and we'll pause on it and start going through this. Okay, back up just a little bit to the very beginning. So here's our CME emerging from behind the occulter, our instrument reacting to it. And as it continues to move on out, we begin to see this little object right here in the center. And I'll show it to you over on the red side here. Let's zoom in real quick on this first. Okay, that's just a weak shot of it real quick. We got a better shot coming here sooner. So as we progress on out, I want you to look over here on the red side as well, because over here we have a nice defined round object right here, and you can make out its magnetic field, this bubble that it's in. So here's our object at the core and the magnetic field going around it. Also, that magnetic field's draped in a bunch of plasma. It's sucking a bunch of plasma off with it as it goes. Now we back out. Let's do the next frame here. Okay. So while we're over on the red side, let's just zoom in here because I want you guys to see. Hopefully, camera will pick this up. We have a nice, clear, round, perfectly cookie cutter round circle. There's our object right there, the core, and you can see it. Even though it's draped in all this plasma, you can still make it out right there. Okay, and then we're going to come over to the other side, and this was the thumbnail of the video right here, where you can clearly see here's our round black object, the little core in the middle of this round magnetic field, its bubble. Now I hope you guys can see that. I mean, it's pretty crystal clear here on this one. Most of the time we need the forensic filter to clean it up to be able to see something this clearly. So this is a good capture right here. And like I said, it's caught on both sides there. Right there and right there on this one. Okay, and we're going to continue on through with it. There's the next frame. Hold up for a second. Here on this frame, it's right here, and you can see that it's caused our instrument to react to it and go zigzag down it like this. And it almost looks like there might be another small black one right here in front of it. And almost looks like two eyes and then a little mouth right there, kind of. Even over on this side, this one has a little nose. I'll put the link to this in the description so you guys can come over here and go through this frame by frame yourself and look at it. And then as it exits, here's the ghost image of this object on the back side of it right there as it leaves the screen. Okay, so I'm going to put that back into motion. It's kind of hard to see the little object in motion when it's in motion, so maybe I'll slow it down a little bit. Okay, I'll do another loop real quick here so you can watch this little core come out with its bubble. And look over on this side too. You can see it's this dark little spot in the middle of all the plasma. Okay, so I think, oh wait, I want to go back here real quick. We're going to go to Stereo A because Stereo A captured this event as well. And let that load up real quick. And let's see, we'll pause this and back it up a little bit. Okay, I think right here, where am I? There it is. You can see it pretty well here from stereo A too. You can make it out. Here's the core. Here's this little round object right here, draped in all this plasma. So both satellites captured the same event. They uh, they justify each other. You know what I'm saying? This satellite showing the same thing over here. This is the same satellite, but showing it over here as well as on the other satellite. So they confirm each other that this is an object. It caused this CME. It caused this little bubble right here. You can see it right in the middle of it. So that was the view from stereo A. It wasn't much, but it captured it as well. And then, let's see, go back here real quick. So while that's playing real quick, I'll freeze it one more time on that one good frame there. Back up on to right there. That frame right there, you can clearly see it on this one, and you can clearly make it out over here, this dark circle in amongst all this plasma. So that's it for this solar report. Now let's go over to do something in the spiritual realm, because this is going to knock your socks off, you guys. I want you to see this. This happened, let's see, let me pull it up here first and make sure we can get it to play. Might have to skip a commercial or an ad. Hang on, let me skip an ad real quick here. If it'll play, come on, computer, please go. Hang on, having a little technical difficulties here. Please work. Just when I'm about to do something here, it jams up here. Bear with me for a sec. Let's just reopen this. Did you catch a dragon? Kind of. That's a good guess, because when you see what I got here, if it'll please work for me. Come on, God, help this work so we can get this done for you. And I want to know, once we get this pulled up, if I can go over here to my bookmarks again. Alright. Oh. Okay, there we go. Sorry about this, folks. I had it queued up before and it was working fine, and it's usually when you try to do something that's when you have your problems. So I'm just going to be patient and persistent, because this is well worth it. No work for us this time, please. And what's this? Come on.
I want to share with you an extension that I used almost.
No. Okay, so before we start playing this, let's widen it out here. This is footage taken from an oil platform a couple weeks ago off the coast of Mexico and California, out there in the Pacific. And I'm just going to let this video play because it speaks volumes. And then we'll kind of go through this. I'm going to let this, well, maybe I'll let it play without the sound first. Hello. Did you guys just see that? That is not a whale. Let's go back and do this again. Alright, this time I'm going to play it with the sound. The sound is a little awkward because it's underwater and there's some sonar pings. I don't know if it's this creature echolocating or if it's a sonar ping from this platform, but there is some sound to this, so let's Those are whale grunts and calls. Okay, so let me clear that out real quick. All right, wow, did you see that? Yeah, that is not a whale. That is what looks like to me a dinosaur. And with all this stuff that's going on lately, to see this creature again reminds me of something like out of the Bible. Is this Leviathan emerging from the depths? Because this creature is really old. I mean, when you look at it, you can tell this thing is really old. And I look for other. Oh, come on now. I look for other things too that are giveaways. If this was faked, you know, usually a big fish, a big shark or a whale will have a little school of fish right out in front of it. And sure enough, here comes these little fish. Okay, they're in front of this thing. And let's pause right there. Because right here, you can make out the snout of the creature. You can see the mouth running along this line right here. And it curves up at the very end right here, almost like a smile. Now, I don't know if a lot of you guys have lizards in your yards, but we have a lot of lizards. And I noticed that all the different lizards always have this little kink at the end of their mouth, like a little smile. So whoever, if somebody was trying to fake this, I don't think they would, add the kink. Here's the eye. You can make out the ridge going over the eye. And you know what? Where's my little magnifier? We're going to magnify this for you guys because it deserves a better look. And right here, it's actually the sun is shining through the water right here, and then it goes into a shadow. So this light beam coming through here illuminates the side of the creature according to its movements and everything. So I believe that this is a real event. This is a real creature. And I'm going to go ahead and play it some more. We'll start it over with the sound and everything again, because listen to the ping. That almost sounds like a man-made ping, almost like a submarine sonar locator. But there's also whale grunts and knocking and stuff in the background. And I'm wondering if this creature is echolocating, is using echolocation, clicks and squeals and little pops to echolocate, because other prehistoric creatures that have been, suspected of being in Loch Ness, they found this creature, whatever it was using echolocation in Loch Ness. And there's no dolphins or whales or anything like that in Loch Ness. So they theorize that some of these prehistoric creatures may have had echolocating, as one of their senses too. So we're going to play this again. Boom, boom, boom. Here, let me back out. We're too zoomed in. There we go. These rear pectoral fins, that gives it away. And whereas, let's go back real quick. I like how this leg hangs right here. If anybody ever had an iguana, you'll see that their back legs have this weird little hanging effect like this. This creature is anatomically correct. It's really eerie. Also, this line right here is like a bisymmetry line that runs down the middle of the creature. I don't think anybody faking it would think to put this in there. This is another effect of a lot of aquatic animals. They have this bisymmetry line right there. And then something else I was going to do, I'm used to having a bunch of single pictures like this and have to put them in a flip book. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this little arrow down here. Now you see this little pop-up? Watch the motion in this pop-up as I scoot it down, and watch how this thing swims. It swims correctly. It moves correctly. It's wet, using its tail correctly. Let me do that again. In this little lower box, look at the motion as it swims. Oh, I missed it, sorry. Go back here. Whoops. Just the motion of it seems to be just right. And I think this camera takes one picture every second, because there's a counter up in the corner that's keeping track each second, each frame. So I think that's why it's segmented like this and not all smooth, a smooth video. Because this camera is taking one picture per second, and it's not like 60 frames per second like you're making a movie. Oops, go back to that right there. So let's freeze frame it where its head's right in the light. We'll go right about here. There. Yeah, that's about the best frame of it right there. And then like I said, let me zoom in one more time on this face. Because you can see the snout, you can see the mouth turning the corner and going across right here, then coming along down, going all the way straight, and then turning up a little bit. And something else I looked at is this bump right down here. This is a muscle on the jaw hinge right here, like a typical iguana or a lizard has this little bulge that comes out. This is their jaw muscle, through their skin, right? There's a bump on this side as well. So those are corresponding as well. So this makes me think that this is not computer generated, that this isn't CGI, that this is an underwater camera that actually caught this creature swimming by. And is this Leviathan from the deep? I mean, we've seen some of these old historic maps with this kind of head poking out of the water. So I'm wondering if maybe something is happening in the spiritual realm that awakened this creature, and now it's swimming around and got captured by this oil rig, this oil refinery. It's a deep sea oil refinery, but if you look here on some of these gauges, right here, here's the depth, 155. So this isn't really all that deep. This is still close to the surface. This is actual sunlight still penetrating the water at 155 feet, capturing this creature. I'm going to let it go again. I'm going to turn the sound off because it gets annoying. But right here, let me freeze it right there. Look at this pectoral fin coming down. Look at this pectoral fin, or this, secondary pectoral fin coming off there. Let me get this out of there. And then this ridge line that runs down the tail, just like an iguana has. And very similar tail to an iguana. If we stop right here, this ridge of bump stops, and then we have this tapered, tapered tail. It doesn't have a secondary tail like a shark does. It's just a tapered tail like a lizard has. Right there. And you can see that these ridges stop, boom, and then here's the rest of our pointed tail. And like I said, I'm going to put a link to this in the description so you guys can come over and watch this yourself and, look at all these different angles. I watched the fish and stuff, how the fish react. They react like there's a big creature coming in here. And ocean-going creatures that are this big usually have fish like pilot fish or other fish like remoras stuck to them. And these fish eat particles off of whatever this guy's feeding on. So they follow him around and they pick up all the particles off of whatever's left over in the water when he's eating. But this line of bisymmetry right down the side, just like a lizard has, just like an iguana has, man, this thing is just it's it's real, dude. I think it's real. There's some might be some debate, but I see another fish attached to it right there at the end. That's a remora. So it's there's fish, attached to this creature, following it, leading it. So that tells me that creature was actually right there. Let's see. And right here, its nose is coming into the shaft of light. It's kind of shady right here, but you'll see there's light coming through here that illuminates this front part of this face here. Let's go one more frame. Right there is a good one because it's all still illuminated. And then it goes into darker water. So there's probably a shadow from this platform right past these rays here that it goes into darker water so you can't see it just as well. But right here we get to capture the face with the mouth along, running down the side, the eye right here, and you make out some of the ridges just starting right here on the back. Something else I want to point out here, there are no gills. This would where the gills would be like on a shark. So this is not some kind of shark creature either. It has no gills. This is a reptile. So it's not a water breathing fish. It might have to surface for air, or it might be able to absorb oxygen through its skin, much like a frog does. And a frog is another reptile. So this creature might have adaptations just like other reptiles do, and it can breathe using its skin without having to surface. This might be a really deep water creature that is now having to come up higher in the water column for food because it's not getting its nutrients anymore. And this was captured in the Pacific Ocean. If any of you guys know, the Pacific Ocean's dying. They don't tell you much about Fukushima, but they're still pouring 300,000 gallons of water on that sucker per day, and all that hot radioactive water goes right into the Pacific. So that's been going on since since right after the quake. So the Pacific Ocean's suffering, and maybe it's causing this big old creature to come up from the depths and start searching for food at higher in the water column, and by doing so was captured by this oil refinery, by this oil rig. Right. Wait. Back up here. Just want to see one more thing. All right, this is the fin, I think, still trailing. Yeah, it is. This is the fin still trailing off right there. Coming off right there. It looks like something out of Godzilla movie or something right there. Maybe that's the mythical Godzilla is this old creature. Every time something happens and it gets stirred up and it comes up to the surface, somebody captures it and oh no, Godzilla. I don't know, but just kind of making fun. Anyways, I had to bring this to you because this is pretty important, and with all the other spiritual stuff that's been going on, it wouldn't surprise me if this is a real creature. This is a real event. Like I said, it's been forced to come up off of the bottom, the ocean floor, to hunt it, for stuff up higher in the water column, like I said. So, uh, this this video was taken in the Pacific. It's like between Ensenada and San Diego, out there in the Pacific. These oil platforms that are out there. I'm not sure which one. I saw a different video where a guy did a little bit more research and tried to debunk this and say it was fake. But then when he went to this Poseidon 7, this is a real monitoring network. They monitor these oil rigs for these companies, just in case there's, I don't know, emergencies, whatever they do. But it's their monitoring network that captured this. And you can see this is like a, not a security camera, but a specialized camera. It has all sorts of different readouts and stuff. Atomic plus 25. It's got all these different settings. Here, I believe this is the depth though at 155. So that's uh, that's the new thing I just caught for you guys. So I had to bring this to you. And I looked at this over and over before I would, put this on my channel, because I don't want to try to bring you guys anything that's fake. And I'm not 100% sure about this. All my photos and stuff I'm 100% sure about. But much like my channel, a lot of this stuff I leave it up to you to make your decisions, and I will leave a link to this in the description of this video, so you guys can come over and take a look at this and listen to some of the pings and the grunts and stuff. There's underwater audio to this too, so I'll put that in the description as well. So I think that's it for tonight. I just had to show you that little object coming off the sun that we captured there, and then this new creature out there swimming around, or old creature I should say, Leviathan. Look at this thing. It's huge too. It's probably like 100 feet long. I mean, it looks like a big ass whale at first, when it comes into frame. I first thought, oh, this is a humpback whale. Look at its nose, look at the pectoral fins. These guys are crazy. They think they think this is a humpback whale, until it gets to this frame where you see, uh-oh, it has two more appendages, just like an alligator would. And that too. Alligators have been around for a long time, and they're still here. So why wouldn't this creature, much like an alligator, why can't this still be around too? So I had to bring that to you. I think that's it. I love you guys. I miss you all. I love you all. God bless you all. And until my next video, bye.